What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Brooklyn Zone in the house. I got my co-host.
What's up, y'all? This is Phoenix.
Phoenix, what up? What up? What's good? We're going to jump right into this topic. We're talking about men and women in relationships compromising. So, I'm going to ask you right off the bat, Phoenix. Tell me, what does compromise mean to women?
I think compromise for women is putting aside their own desire
Ooh,
to please their mate, their partner,
okay.
their husband.
I like that.
Yeah.
I could get with that.
To take it a step further, it's finding a common ground.
Ah, common ground.
Common ground, place of agreement, but more specifically, putting their own desires to the side.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump in there and talk about compromise for men. If I had to just boil it down to the raw, uncut, compromise for men is just the fact that we want what we want from our partner. That it may sound crass, but that's what it is. For men, compromise just means I want what I want.
But that's not compromise. That's going away from what compromise is.
I get it. I'm just giving it to you uncut.
So, just based on what you're telling me, it doesn't seem that a lot of men are willing to find that common agreement with their partner. If they just want what they want, that's not compromise, that's selfish desire.
Hey,
But you said it, so
that's what it is.
know?
Listen, I stand on it. I'm giving the uncut truth of what it is.
Well, fellas, I would say for those of you listening, if you disagree with Brooklyn, make those comments. I think we need men to explain how they feel as well.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, based on what your definition was and based on what I said, let's talk about this. What happens when compromise can't be reached?
That is the beginning of the end.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
You said the beginning of the end.
It is, because one person can't always get their way. And when the other partner begins to self-evaluate or take a look at the relationship and where it's going, they're going to take that into consideration. This person who so-called loves me is never willing to consider my feelings before his own.
Wow.
So therefore, if he's not willing to do that with maybe something that's very small, minute, then how is this going to work with bigger issues in our relationship moving forward? And where is that going to leave me? So that's why I say the beginning of the end.
I got you. I got you. That's very, very, very interesting. So let me ask you this. When men and women are relating, right, and you say that's the beginning of the end because one or the other doesn't receive the compromise that they want in the relationship, I say this. If you are in a relationship and you are frustrated with the lack of compromise, should you then self-analyze to figure out why that's a trigger for you? whatever it is that you're not receiving?
Well, you're gonna self-analyze, and when you do,
But we know, Phoenix, that men and women do not look in the mirror for their issues. We understand that we have a lot of coping mechanisms that we put off on our partners. There's not a lot of self-analyzation going on in relationships, which is why we do this.
right?
We do this because we want men and women to look in the mirror first to help deal with their frustrations and the relating to their partner. So I'm just simply saying, if compromise is the issue and the beginning of the end begins with the lack of compromise, where does the self-analyzation come in to figure out why you have an issue with the lack of compromise?
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
I don't believe self-analyzation is perhaps what's needed, because over a period of time, you're going to realize that if my partner is never willing to compromise, what does it say about my partner? What does it say about my partner? What does it say about how they feel about our relationship? How do they feel about me? So it might not be that self-analyzation is what's needed. It might be stepping back, taking a look at the person that you're with is what's needed.
I love that. It's very interesting you say that. So let's just unpack that a little bit. Let's go a little further into that. Could it be the lack of compromise could be stemmed from the lack of trust from your partner, not trusting you as an individual? Is the reason why whatever that topic is that you guys can't compromise on? Could it be that your partner, man or woman, how about the woman, she don't trust her man? That's why she won't compromise on whatever that issue is.
That's possible. Yeah.
It's likely. It's highly likely if we're going to unpack why we don't compromise.
Yeah.
We have to unpack what it is.
That could be a very major factor. Yeah.
And I believe, Phoenix, that goes back to self-analyzation. Because if you look in the mirror at why you take a hard stance on something, you have to unpack that as an individual to understand why you won't compromise with your partner on that issue. I always believe it got to be something internal that you are dealing with, whether it's trust or whether something happened in your life or someone else did something to you, and because we relate through trauma in relationships.
I now understand where you're going with that. So
That's why we do this.
it's possible.
Hey, for the fellas out there, the ladies out there, I hope you understood these jewels that we just unpacked. Get in that mirror and unpack these things so that you can better relate with your partner. Right, Phoenix?
Right.
So here we go. Let's go. Let me ask you this, Phoenix. What does it mean to you to compromise with your partner?
To me, it means to put my desires to the side, to come in agreement with my partner, so we can both mesh together.
Okay, I got you. So, do you believe that compromise equals weakness?
No, I believe that compromise equals love and admiration from my partner.
Wow.
That I'm willing to put aside my own desires to make my partner feel appreciated or loved or just to make them happy.
I got it.
And that's my personal, that I'm not speaking for women,
I get it.
but that's my personal reason for compromise.
I like that. I like that.
What about you?
For my fellas out there.
For you.
For me personally?
Yeah.
Depending on your partner, compromise for me can be seen as a sign of weakness, or it can be seen as a sign of understanding and love. It depends on your partner, because sometimes as a man, compromise can be seen as a form of weakness, especially when you have someone that you may not trust or you may not love and admire.
So then why be in a relationship with that person?
Well, that's the thing. Men and women are in relationships
For different reasons.
for different
I
reasons.
knew you were going to say that.
You knew that, right?
Yes.
You knew that.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you answer your own question.
No, what I'm saying yes to is that I knew you were going to say what you just said.
So let me ask the next one. So, does your unwillingness to compromise expose your limiting beliefs and expectations about relationships?
I would say yes. Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Talk about it a little more.
It's not as easy because I feel like I'm willing to compromise.
Not you, but, in general. We always speak in general.
So ask me again. Ask me again so I can put myself out of my
Right,
mind.
exactly. Because,
and into someone else's.
There you go. Because we're trying to help men and women relate to each other. And we're trying to get people to look in the mirror, self-analyze. And as men and women, we have to say, hey, what is it? Why don't I want to compromise on this issue or this subject or this thing that me and my partner is having an issue with? And I simply say, the unwillingness to compromise leads to a limiting belief and expectations about relationships that we don't recognize.
Or that person just has a strong belief in their stance on the issue.
Right. And what I always say, strong stance or strong belief, whatever it is, you have to vet what your belief and expectation is, which means you have to identify where it is that you got that belief and expectation from. Where did it originate?
Was it from your parents, that something that you learned, or something you experienced
Through
in your
trauma?
Yeah.
Why
am I not willing to compromise with this issue at all?
Why am I arguing with my partner over something that I don't even know? I haven't taken the time to think about where the hell the origin of that belief and expectation came from.
But I hold it so strongly that I'm not willing to let it go, no matter what.
Wow, that was profound. That's exactly why we do this, simply to get men and women to better relate to each other. But that's what's up. We're going to talk about this subject. We're going to continue talking about love, life, and relationships. That's what we do, Phoenix.
So I'm going to add something that just came to mind, and it's going to be for women. If there is an issue with your partner, your husband, whomever,
Yes.
that you're not willing to compromise with initially, I suggest, like what Brooklyn said, take a look at where it comes from first. And if you can unpack it, if you can find its origin, then look at that before you come back with, I'm not willing to compromise on about this issue. And maybe that'll help.
Wow. Phoenix, I could tell you this. You sound like a pro.
Well, we're a work in progress, so at the same time that we're giving this advice, we're also learning.
Absolutely. Because that's what life is.
Yeah, everything is a learning. I don't believe there are any experts
I like that.
on relationship. I believe that the people that are willing to take a look and unfold what couples go through are the same people who are learning at the same time. And it's give and take. We're giving information to our listeners and we're receiving that information too. So we're all in help with each other.
And that's why we do this. And this is why we do this, to simply get men and women to better relate to each other. And I'm going to say this. Relationships are give and take without effort. I'm going to say it again. Relationships are give and take without effort. Think about that. Think about it. Think about it. I'm also say this. For our men and women out there that are in relationships, whatever stage of relationship you are in, it doesn't matter. You just met, 20 years married, new fiance, whatever stage of relationship that you are in, I want men and women to strive to be in alignment with each other instead of being right. I'm going to say it again. Strive to be in alignment with each other instead of being right.
I like that. I like that.
That's what it is. So as I always say, in closing, the only thing I know is what I don't know. My goal is to get men and women to break up with their beliefs and expectations about relationships. Challenge your beliefs and expectations. Comment, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. It's Brooklyn Zone. We on IG. Look us up. Follow. IG is Brooklyn Zone, the number 1. That's BKLYNSOWN, the number 1. And we out.